Boxing has always packed a punch when it comes to jaw-dropping, heart-stopping moments with brutal knockouts that leave the entire arena in stunned silence. From the ferocious Mike Tyson to the relentless Pacquiao, the unstoppable Gypsy King, and now the explosive knockout artist Gervonta Davis, here are some of the most unforgettable knockouts in boxing history. On May 2, 2007, Manny Pacquiao stepped into the ring against Ricky Hatton, the once unbreakable Brit, aiming to leave a mark bigger than even Mayweather had. Hatton entered the fight with a fire to redeem himself, having bounced back with several victories since his first loss to Mayweather. But Pacquiao wasn't bored. This epic clash was nothing short of a masterclass in pure firepower. Gervonta "Tank" Davis, already recognized as one of boxing's most explosive stars with his lightning speed and razor-sharp accuracy, stepped up to face the formidable Leo Santa Cruz, a multi-division world champion whose legendary iron chin had yet to be cracked. Boxing fans saw this as the ultimate test of power against resilience, the classic unstoppable force versus a movable object. And for 5 rounds, the tension was electric as both fighters pushed each other to the brink, each punch a potential game changer. Then came the 6th round. In a single perfectly timed moment, Davis unleashed a jaw-dropping uppercut that landed flush on Cruz's chin, sending him crashing to the canvas in a scene that instantly went down in boxing history. One punch, one moment, and Davis showed the world why he's a superstar on the rise, a defining moment that left the boxing community buzzing. On June 27, 1988, Mike Tyson delivered a knockout for the ages against the undefeated Michael Spinks at the Convention Hall in Atlantic City. Tyson stormed into this fight with 7 title defenses under his belt, 5 of them brutal KOs. Spinks, a perfect 31-0 with 21 knockouts himself, was seen by some as the true champion, despite Tyson holding all the belts. In just 91 seconds, Tyson's relentless power made history. With a crushing blow, he knocked Spinks down and out, becoming the only fighter ever to drop him and ultimately hand Spinks his first loss in his 32-fight career. Spinks retired after that devastating defeat, leaving Tyson with an aura of invincibility. Tyson defended his titles twice more before his shocking 1990 loss to Buster Douglas, an upset that rocked the boxing world. On June 18, 1973, Madison Square Garden was witness to one of the most terrifying displays of knockout power, as Ernie Shavers took on Jimmy Ellis. Shavers came into this fight with a record that already had people calling him one of the hardest punchers of his generation, a staggering 97% knockout-to-win ratio, with 44 of his 45 wins coming by way of KO. In classic Shavers style, he didn't waste time. When he connected with a thunderous right hand, Ellis went down hard, convulsing on the canvas as Shavers' power lived up to every inch of its legend. That night, Shavers' reputation as a devastating finisher was etched even deeper into boxing history. On March 21, 1980, at the Stokely Athletic Center in Knoxville, Mike Weaver delivered one of the most jaw-dropping knockouts ever, taking down John Tate in the very last moments of the 15th round. By that point, both fighters had endured 14 rounds of grueling back and forth, but Weaver somehow found the power to land a crushing shot that floored Tate and ended the bout. What made this knockout legendary wasn't just the punch itself, but the timing, a knockout in the final round of a heavyweight title fight. And with boxing now capped at 12 rounds, this kind of late-fight heroism is something we'll likely never see again. This clash was over almost as quickly as it began, headlining PBC's Toe-to-Toe Tuesdays with one of the most brutal one-round finishes in recent memory. For most of the first round, it was a feeling-out process, each fighter circling and testing the waters. But then, with just 15 seconds left on the clock, Gassiev saw his opening. He backed Schimmel into the corner, lining him up perfectly, and then, boom! Unleashed a left hook so vicious that even the fans in the nosebleeds felt the shockwave. That punch was a sound all its own, a crisp smack that probably rattled windows outside the theater. Honestly, the only person who didn't hear it, Schimmel himself. The crowd erupted as Schimmel went down. In that instant, Gassiev had stamped his mark with one punch that no one in attendance would forget anytime soon. On August 7, 1997, Roy Jones Jr. stepped into the ring at the Foxwood Resort in Mashantucket, Connecticut, with one goal: redemption. Just 5 months earlier, Jones suffered his first professional loss, a controversial disqualification for hitting Montiel Griffin while he was down. This time, he wasn't leaving any room for doubt. In a blistering first round, Jones came out with a vengeance, catching Griffin with a knockout blow that left fans and critics with no questions about his dominance. The win marked Jones's determination to erase any blemishes on his record, proving his DQ loss was nothing more than a fluke. He went on an impressive 15-fight win streak after this, solidifying his legacy as one of the best in the sport. In what looked like a battle of seasoned champions, former 2-division world champion Joey Gamache went up against former world champ Arturo Gatti. On paper, you'd think Gamache had the upper hand with his impressive resume, but from the first bell it was painfully clear Gatti was the bigger, stronger man, and in this fight, size wasn't just an advantage, it was a game changer. The bout ended brutally in the second round when Gatti unleashed a devastating combination that would haunt Gamache's career forever. That knockout punch didn't just end the fight, it ended Gamache's boxing days. The force of Gatti's blows left Gamache with a severe brain injury that hospitalized him for a week and effectively retired him from the sport. A hard, sobering reminder of just how dangerous this game can be. Sometimes, one punch is all it takes to change a life forever. In a clash that's come to be known as Once and For All, Deontay Wilder stepped into the ring against Tyson Fury, potentially for his last shot at conquering his long-standing rival. This wasn't just another match. It was Wilder's opportunity to settle the score after a controversial series of fights that left fans everywhere buzzing. Back in their first bout, they fought to a dramatic draw, with Wilder narrowly missing out on a victory. The rematch, an absolute stunner where Fury claimed victory with a TKO, but Wilder wasn't buying it. He fired back, claiming Fury had pulled some shady moves, alleging that there was something suspicious about Fury's gloves. This time, Wilder was out to prove there'd be no funny business, making it crystal clear he was ready to, in his own words, collect another body. And let's be real, this showdown delivered. Both fighters went all in, trading punches in what has to be one of the most thrilling fights in recent memory. 5 knockdowns and non-stop heart-pounding action kept fans on the edge of their seats. It seemed like this epic could go the full distance, but then in the 11th round, Fury delivered the knockout punch that sealed his victory.
Like I said, that right hand comes across on the left side.
Tommy Morrison, the heavyweight prospect and star of Rocky V, entered the ring with high expectations, but his time spent filming out of the ring had clearly taken its toll, setting the stage for what would become one of the most brutal knockouts in boxing history. In the third round, Ray Mercer backed Morrison into the corner, where he unleashed a vicious left hook that cracked Morrison's chin. Yet with Morrison slumped against the ropes, he stayed upright, a sitting target. Mercer seized the moment, unleashing a relentless barrage of at least 8 power punches on Morrison's defenseless frame. Each punch landed with chilling precision, with Morrison unable to escape or defend. It was a knockout that left fans in shock.
Wow. Morrison could have been seriously.
Nonito Donaire showcased his power and precision in a devastating knockout of Fernando Montiel during their WBC and WBO bantamweight title clash at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Entering with a 24-fight win streak after an early career loss, Donaire came in as a rising star with something to prove, and he did just that. In the second round, Donaire unleashed a left hook that sent Montiel crashing to the canvas. The aftermath was brutal, with Montiel's body twitching involuntarily, a chilling reminder of Donaire's raw knockout power. He eventually regained his footing, but the damage was done, and Donaire walked away with both titles and a reputation as a feared force in the ring. You've probably heard Joe Rogan talk about this fight, diving deep into its brutal nature and the story behind the knockout that shook the boxing world. In the lead-up, Benny the Kid Paret relentlessly taunted Emil Griffith, mocking him with slurs and jabs about his sexuality, calling him a fairy. Those words lit a fire in Griffith, and he carried that fury into the ring. By the 12th round, Griffith was relentless, channeling his anger with every punch. He stunned Paret with a powerful shot that left him swaying but still upright. Sensing his chance, Griffith went in for the kill, unleashing a merciless combination that Paret couldn't defend against. Tragically, those final blows would lead to Paret's death, A heartbreaking end to a fight that turned personal, leaving an indelible scar on boxing history. No greatest knockout list would be complete without Iron Mike Tyson. In his clash of boxing legacies, Tyson faced Marvis Frazier, the son of the legendary Joe Frazier. But unlike his father, Marvis wasn't equipped to handle the sheer power of Tyson. In less than 20 seconds, Tyson delivered a brutal uppercut that buckled Frazier's knees, leaving him in a daze. It was Tyson at his most ruthless. A knockout so fast and ferocious, it was over before the crowd had a chance to process. A fight that served as a cold reminder. Stepping into the ring with Iron Mike was a whole different kind of danger. Julian Jackson delivered an unforgettable knockout against Harold Graham during their WBC middleweight title clash on November 24, 1990 at the Torre Quebrada Hotel and Casino in Spain. Jackson's powerful right hand connected with Graham's chin. In an instant, Graham was out cold, hitting the canvas with a bone-jarring thud. As if the punch wasn't enough, his head bounced violently off the canvas, leaving him sprawled out and unconscious for nearly 5 minutes. It wasn't just a knockout, it was a chilling reminder of Jackson's terrifying one-punch power. Watching Graham laid out that way, it's hard to argue this isn't the most brutal knockout ever seen in boxing history. Which one's your favorite? Let us know in the comments below.